Hi everybody, this is a black and green Reanimator deck that was inspired by Toxrill the Corrosive. I had been facing a lot of token decks on the ladder recently, and I thought old Toxrill might be good to throw back in the mix a little bit. Now, to reanimate things, we've got copies of Cruelty of Gix, Graveyard Shift to reanimate at instant speed, and then all of this reanimates any one of these single copies of gigantic creatures we've got here. You'll see along with Toxrill, we've got Titan of Industry to handle enchantments and gain some life. We've got Atraxa, because that's probably the best reanimation target in Standard right now. And we've also got Hoarding Broodlord to go looking for things, although honestly, this one could probably be replaced with something else. Cruelty of Gix, when you step through all the chapters, pretty much gets you what you need most of the time, and our ability to replay that with our next card really goes a long way. Of course, I'm talking about my old friend Conduit of Worlds. We're sporting one copy in here to reuse everything, most often reusing things like Cruelty of Gix and Liliana, and it really provides some insurmountable value for the late game. Now, in the early couple of turns with this deck, we want to be using things like the Flotsam side of Flotsam and Jetsam to mill our own deck and investigate. Irencrag is here to help ramp us up a little faster and get us to 5 mana as soon as possible. We're running Mulch. This is kind of a pet card of mine. It's not terribly good, but it's pretty decent in here. It makes sure we hit our land drops and tosses a few things into the graveyard to reanimate later on. I'm also using 3 copies of Bitter Triumph as one of our main removal spells because we can go tutoring for it, and we don't mind discarding things to pay the alternative cost if we're going against something like a mono red deck. Then in the 3 mana slot, we've got 4 copies of Lily and 2 copies of Old Rutstein to help put things into the graveyard and control the board a little bit, give us a little something to do in those in-between turns between 2 and 5. Now, I don't know how objectively competitive this deck is, but I do know it's probably one of the most fun Reanimator experiences I've had in quite some time on Arena, so I hope you enjoy these games too. Now let's go see some of them over on the ranked standard ladder. Alright, let's get it together, Titan of Industry. This might work. We're going to need to draw some things. We'll start off with the Deathcap Glade. We are up against the Celtic Texan. Let's go for the Mulch here. Wow, so some reanimation targets, but 0 lands off of Mulch. You'll see why Mulch is not a widely played, competitive Magic card. Just kidding. I love Mulch for some weird reason. It's one of those cards. Do you have any of those cards where you're like unreasonably attached to it? Alright, Bat takes our Titan. I think that's fine for now. We're going to play this Cottage so that we can Graveyard Shift or Cruelty on turn 5, and we've got Bitter Triumph if we do need to get that Titan back. Bloodletter. Oh, so that's the double the loss of life one. I always confuse that with the discard Bat. So what we're going to do... Ooh, this is going to hurt, isn't it? Alright, we're going to pay the life. Get rid of the Bloodletter, and keep the Bat for the moment. That was a painful Bitter Triumph. We're going to play land number 5. Let's see. We have a decent reanimation target down there already, but I think I want to get the most value out of Cruelty. Let's start on Chapter 1. Take a peek. Okay. I'll take that Sheoldred out of our opponent's hands. They're left with 2 removal spells, though. We're going to be able to tutor this turn. We're going to take 1 from this Bat. Opponent's got 1 mystery card. We draw Liliana. Well, that's one way to get rid of a Bat and possibly a Sheoldred's Edict at the same time. What do we tutor for? I think it's Conduit. When in doubt, with this deck, I think it's Conduit. And I think this... Yeah, we can manage this. Let's go Irencrag here. We'll play out Liliana. And that way we can make our opponent sacrifice a Bat. This will probably bait out the Edict. There it is. Totally fine from my perspective. Lily's just kind of helpful along the way, honestly, not integral to the game plan, so Happy for them to use their removal on that. Not my other stuff. So opponent's got another Bloodletter. We get to reanimate, and we might just borrow this Sheoldred from our opponent. Sort of switch over to a grindier sacrifice gameplay mode. Okay, opponent plays Go for the Throat on their own Sheoldred. Triggers on the stack, so still going to get rid of that creature. And then we can play land number 7, give ourselves a Titan of Industry, and definitely going to gain some life, and we'll give ourselves a token in case they have another Sheoldred, and that's going to be it. Good game. Okay. Interesting hand here. That's the upside of placing so many 1 and 2 drop, not 2 drops. Let's put Broodlord in the grave for reanimation. 1 ofs and 2 ofs, that's what I mean. It's a nice commandery style of deck building. Of course, we draw the Atraxa. That's fine. So the plan now is basically to get to 5 mana as fast as possible. Might as well Flotsam here, get a few more things in the grave. Mulch, Triumph, another Mulch. Demolition Field the draw. Alright, let's play the Glade. We can get Old Rutstein down. Mills a land, so it gives us a treasure. That's perfect. You've done your job, Rutstein. This gives us 5 mana next turn, so we can go Cruelty straight away. Okay, we're going to get another trigger. We got the blood token as he mills a deadly cover-up. All right, let's go attacking here, see what our opponent does. They've got a Wandering Emperor. All right, happy for them to use that on a Rutstein. We're kind of acting like we don't have the 4th land here, but... Alright, let's go Plaza of Heroes. We'll use that treasure to play Cruelty of Gix a turn early. And I think we're going to step through here. Chapter 1. Oh, Planeswalkers. I think we'll take Ashiok. We've got an Atraxa in hand. If we can get that on the board, that sort of gets around the Wanderer. But opponent appears to be on black and white. This is probably going to be control. And probably going to have a stack of Planeswalkers. So what do we tutor for? I think we take our own Sheoldred here. Could be good in kind of a grindy, control-y matchup. We can play the Sheoldred, get her trigger on the stack, and even if they remove it, we still get something out of it. And if we reanimate it over and over, that's just going to be some good long-term value. Let's give that a try. And luckily, Sheoldred says non-token, so they can't throw the vampire under the bus. Alright, they sacrifice the Wanderer. Good choice, since they've got another. Go for the Throat on Sheoldred, but that's fine, since we're about to hit Chapter 3 of Cruelty. So she's coming back anyway. Vampire attacks us for 3, drops us to 14. Cruelty's going to tick over. So we'll take Sheoldred again. Now they can't flash in the other Wanderer, so Sorin's going down. Got this Bitter Triumph left in hand, but we've also got second Cruelty. I think we can do this. If we play Irencrag first, yeah, we should have enough left over to play Cruelty afterwards. Opponent sacrifices, or makes us sacrifice Sheoldred, rather, with the Edict. We can play Cruelty. And yeah, let's just run it back. Chapter 1. Oh, another choice. Let's take the big one. Like I said, we can kind of get around the small one with Atraxa and her Vigilance. And we've got Bitter Triumph in hand anyway. Okay, makes this vampire bigger. We're going to have to address that at some point. Restless Cottage the draw. We go tutoring. What is the play here? I mean, I think in a grindy matchup, Conduit is the way to go. Opponent's likely going to be able to draw into answers off the top. We might need to reuse that Sheoldred over and over, because we're getting one more use out of her with this Cruelty next turn. Yep, let's get the Conduit down. And we can keep up Triumph if this vampire gets too big. So Vampire goes up to 5. Actually, yeah, they've got a Restless Fortress, so we may need this Triumph to take care of one of these guys. Alright. Tell you what, let's discard Atraxa to pay the cost of Bitter Triumph. We could have sacrificed a token there. Maybe that would have been better, but we're set up to reanimate next turn with Cruelty. And the Wanderer can't touch Atraxa. So let's take Atraxa, refill that hand. We'll decline Irencrag for now. We'll take Mini Sheoldred, Takenuma, grab a Lily, a Shift, and I think that should do it. Nice draw 4 there. We can Conduit also, since we've already, we haven't played our spell for the turn. Yeah, the opponent sees it coming. Good game. All right, we're going to keep this. It's a 2-lander. We're lacking green, but we have the Irencrag. I believe in our deck. The green man is near the top. Oh, that's not green mana. All right, Takenuma, let's go Irencrag then. Is our opponent playing Caves? No, but they are playing a Braid. Destroys the Irencrag. There's the green. All right, I feel better now. Invasion of Zendikar. So our opponent is going ramping. So if we had to guess, what do we think our opponent's ramping into? Let's Flotsam here. We might need the Investigate. Oh, lands. Lands come back. Let's Mulch, try to get some more. All right, we got 2. Oh, and we put an Atraxa in the graveyard. All right, see, that's when Mulch is actually decent. As for Liliana, though, don't think we need you right now. Let's put you in the grave. So what can we expect? Oh, Bonehorde Dracosaur. Let's make you sacrifice that with Sheoldred on 5. I was expecting something bigger. I mean, there's another Dracosaur. Okay. That's just me. Am I an old school ramp player? I expect like 7 drops, not 5 drops. Let's pay some life and get rid of this Dracosaur. Go attacking with Sheoldred. And we can just pass it back there. Demolition Field available if we need it. Can crack this clue token, and we've got Flotsam. Locked Hothouse. All right. Seen that be good a couple of times. And Loam Speaker. So all about the mana production. Case of the Locked Hothouse is solved. Let's crack open this clue to draw. And might as well Flotsam with this. Well, Jetsam actually could be pretty decent against our opponent if we mill something giant from them. When there's a graveyard shift with Flash. 1 mana away from Toxrill and Titan. We've got Atraxa in our graveyard. All right. Let's go attacking. We're going to drop our opponent to 13, and we're going to pass. So I think here the ability to use Graveyard Shift like at the end of our opponent's turn could be pretty valuable. World Soul's Rage. Oh, okay, okay. I've heard about this deck. I've never seen it. So Sheoldred is down. Opponent attacks the battle, or the invasion rather, with the Loam Speaker. Let's flash back Atraxa. Don't really need the cards. We've kind of got all of our endgame right now, but when in Rome. We'll grab a few things with Atraxa here. Draw a Mortuary. Let's play the untapped land then. Let's get this Titan down. We'll make a Rhino and destroy that hothouse. And get in with Atraxa. Opponent's at 6. Has a lot to address on board. Let's discard Irencrag and this Mortuary. Man, this hand is stacked. We are ready to bring things back from the grave. Opponent with a hothouse. And an invasion. All of the ramp, but none of the payoff. I've been there. Yeah, oh, that hurts. Good game, though. Alright, we got another Irencrag opener here. We got our discard bat. Yeah, let's give it a shot. One thing that I'm finding out in practice about this deck is that I like having the strong 5-drop creatures, because then if we don't have something to reanimate, we can at least just kind of play on curve and play something really good on 5, and then bring it back later on. Opponent has double tri-lands over there. Ooh, early Leyline Binding. Sure. Our opponent might have wished they had held on to that. Let's see how this develops here. Alright, we'll play land number 3. Pass it back, keep up Bitter Triumph, I suppose. Bramble Familiar. Alright, well, if I can't ramp, then neither can you. We'll take 3 to take out this Bramble Familiar. Let's get Conduit down right now. Because A, this gives them another target for the inevitable second Leyline Binding that they're going to have. Oh, okay, Archangel. They were looking at it. So yeah, this gives them a target, but it's also great in a control matchup. We can just kind of grind people out if we get the right stuff down in the graveyard. Let's start off here with a Cruelty on 1. We'll take a little damage from this Angel, but I think it's worth having a peek. Oh. Well, we'll make you discard Atraxa. Opponent left with a Sunfall and a Seed Shark. Yeah, if we can keep this Cruelty around, we might get a free Atraxa. Okay. Tutor's going to take us to 8. What should we do? Let's just grab Sheoldred. Alright, we'll play Demolition Field. Actually, let's do the bat. Yeah, let's do the bat. If that one dies, rather, if that one gets exiled with the Sunfall, I think I would shed fewer tears than if they took my Sheoldred. Okay, there's the Sunfall as planned. Opponent flips over the Incubator, but I think this is Atraxa time, right? Yeah, let's grab it. Thank you, generous opponent, for the Atraxa. Let's take... Okay, that wraps it up. Good game. Alright, this looks great. We've got Old Rutstein, we've got Mulch. Start off with the Plaza of Heroes. And we'll just play a Swamp here and... Oh. Yeah. Should have played the Wastes. We could have mulched there too. That's okay. Go with Old Rutstein instead. Could potentially set this up where... Oh, and you gave me a treasure too? Okay. Man, sometimes Rutstein is just all you need. It's that critical getting you from 3 to 5. Mana, that is. As this is now a strictly Beverly Hillbillies YouTube channel. We're going to attack with Rutstein here. Brackish Blunder. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Make a map token. Well, we have ramped successfully into Cruelty, so let's go with that. Does the opponent have the Spell Snare? They do not. Let's see what you got. Oh, this is spicy. Look at this. Larcenist, Harried Dronesmith, Akal Pakal, First Among Equals. I know I'm not saying that right. I think it's Larcenist. The rest is annoying, but grindable. Whereas the Larcenist can just sort of erase the next thing we reanimate temporarily. Okay, so they use the map token. Get a Spire. Yeah, let's just take Bitter Triumph for now. Kind of want to remove that. Let's see if we draw any lands first, though. 2 lands. Couple of gods go to the graveyard. Let's go land number 3. Yeah, let's get rid of this now. We can discard one of our Rutsteins. Because it doesn't matter. I think Arena, if you've got 2 of the same card and the opponent's seen one of them, it doesn't really matter which one you pick to kind of reveal again. It'll still show up to your opponent as if you made the right choice, I think. So we get hit with the Ornithopter from the Dronesmith. It's a blood token. Alright, we're getting some untapped lands. Time to reanimate. Yeah, let's take Kaslem, Deepest Growth. I suppose we could Jetsam, although Cruelty will pick that hand apart a little more. Let's do that. Smelter or the other Dronesmith? Yeah, I think it's Smelter. The Smelter tokens actually stick around, whereas the Dronesmith just exists for a turn. Ooh, Magmatic Galleon. That is a great one. That is certainly enough to take out Deepest Growth here. Fortunately, we get it back as a land. Take 3 from the Dronesmith and company. Now it's time to tutor. I mean, when in doubt, Conduit of Worlds. Alright, so we've got a couple of Dronesmiths kind of on deck. We've got this Galleon threatening to smack us around a bit. Let's play out Rutstein. Mills Atraxa. Good. Let's destroy the Galleon then with Boseiju. Just in case. Opponent can pull a land out, but it looks like their deck's lower to the ground, so I think we're past the point of that being a huge problem for us. And I think we can play out Wastes and Conduit. There we go. A few lands in the grave. Oh, we've played our land already. Never mind. What do we do, an opponent? Is that a Detective Satchel I see over there? I think it is. Alright, opponents found another Sokenzan Smelter. Huh, I see. So the Smelter can immediately sacrifice the Thopter And you get a nice 3-1 out of the deal. Alright, opponent. We attacking or what? Okay. No attacks. Rutstein flips a Cruelty. Yeah, I think our graveyard's the better spot for now. Let's take Atraxa. Go looking at the top for some cards. Grab the Crag, another Cruelty. We'll take Jetsam. Takenuma, please. Liliana and a Shift. Play this land from the grave. And we're going to need discard 2 unless we do something else. Let's discard Lily. Or not discard, let's play Lily, make you sacrifice. Keep staring at the word discard, you're going to say it. Alright, what do we have? Rutstein. Okay. So Jetsam might be worthwhile. We're going to need another mana cost to make Graveyard Shift work if we want Aclazotz to come back. Okay. Passing the turn. Going to discard. Let's discard one of these Jetsams. So that is the 5th mana cost for Graveyard Shift. Just in case we need to flash back in Atraxa or something else. Opponent taking their time with the Surveil. Either that or they're looking at Liliana. What do we got? Alright, there's the Detective Satchel. So 2 investigations. Ability to make a Thopter. Nope, just sacrificing the clue to draw. Alright, there's the Thopter. Out of mana though, so no sacrifices with the Smelter. And obviously don't want to attack into Atraxa. Let's do a flash here of Graveyard Shift. Get back Deepest Betrayal. Rutstein will put a little something into the graveyard for me. Alright, opponent's got Galleon and some small, kind of pirate-esque creatures. Let's do a Jetsam. Case of the Filched Falcon. I'll tell you what, I kind of like this Galleon. Let's take out the Smelter. And yeah, okay. Opponent scoops it up there. Good game. Alright, I mean, this is the kind of curve we want to see with this deck. Start off with a Mortuary. Ah. It was too good to be true. I was going to say, if Atraxa was just sitting on the top of the library, we could toss her into the grave. It would have been perfect. Opponent with the Mulch, though, or no. Opponent with the Duress takes Lily. We get to Mulch. I was going to say, opponent better not take the Mulch with that Duress. We'd have to sit down and have some conversations after this game. Alright, so opponent with the Vampire's Kiss. Well, we're able to do some Rutstein. We mill the Conduit. An opponent plays Tithing Blade, so we have to sacrifice Rutstein. Interesting. An artifact-based mono blacklist? Alright, opponent, show me what you got. Discards with a blood token. Bat. I guess Bat's fine. We've got 2 methods of reanimation. Kind of take your pick for now. Well, I suppose they could take Aclazotz. Takes Cruelty. That's probably the better of the 2. Greedy Freebooter. Tell you what, let's mill with Takenuma. Okay, no better reanimation options. Let's take Rutstein. And yeah, let's lay down the bat. Make them play some more removal. Okay, opponent looking some more with a blood token. Bladed Battle Fan was the discard. Wow. We draw a second unfortunate Rutstein. Let's go to attacks and see what they do about this bat. Oh, that's something to do. All right, good game. Okay. Well, we've got a Mulch and a Lily. Let's give this one a try. Opponent starts off with an Undercity Sewers. Surveils out a creature from the top. I'm going to keep that land on top for us. So yeah, if we can get to 5 on time, we're in good shape. Let's mulch. More lands. A couple of spells in the grave. That's too bad. Three colors from our opponent. So they milled a Charming Scoundrel. They're hitting a Maestro's Charm right now to put more stuff in the grave. And was that Saheeli? Yeah, that was Saheeli, which implies they've got artifacts in there. I am very intrigued. Let's see some more. Let's make everybody discard. We'll get rid of one of these forests. And an ill-timed explosion from the opponent. Alright, another Charming Scoundrel. Creates a treasure. Looking at Lily, just going to attack her for 1. Okay. Oh, speaking of one-ofs, Hostile Hostel is here. This is not a hostile deck, it's here for fun. Alright, sacrifice the Scoundrel. Land number 4. Opponent with an ill-timed explosion just for the draw. Puts more stuff into the grave. I think that was a Vein Ripper. So they might be looking to do some reanimation as well. Alright, let's do Cruelty then. We'll start off at 1, see what's going on. Wow, all the all Vein Ripper hand. Push, pull, and ill-timed explosion. Let's make everybody discard then. Discards the other Vein Ripper, so they're left with a little reanimation, but they're 1 mana shy. Fires off the ill-timed explosion. Discards again. That might have been the 4th Vein Ripper in there. They just need... Oh, there's the untapped land for the push and pull. Alright, let's go a tutoring. Yeah, I think we'll grab Conduit. So we've got some reanimation set up for next turn. Let's make them discard, push, and pull. I think it's worth getting rid of our Graveyard Shift. We can play Deepest Growth now. Force our opponent to have an answer for it. Was just checking the price on Hostile there in case we needed to sacrifice Deepest Growth in response to some removal. Opponent draws land. We get to reanimate. We have our choice of the 4 Vein Rippers. Let's take 1 of them. Let's go to combat and attack with Deepest Growth. So this should pull something out of our library here. There's a couple of things to choose from. Let's take that one. And we get a land too. Nice. Gonna be honest, that's the first time I've ever hit anybody with that. Let's do this trigger real quick. And yeah, opponent scoops it up there. Good game.